Welcome back.
Welcome.
We're here doing something a little bit different. Because, yeah, it doesn't really make sense to revise our top 40 games over and over and over with, you know, just how little changes.
I mean, at least every year.
Yeah, every year is too much. Maybe every 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah.
It's also just kind of a lot of effort, honestly. I don't want to, always do. So.
And at that point, you'll forget that we do the list in the first place.
Yeah.
Then when we release the top 40 games of all time again, like, it'll be a long time.
Yeah. And it gives us time to talk about some other things that we want to talk about, like maybe the top 10 games that we want to talk about.
Top 10 games we want to talk about? What a great idea for a video, Calvin.
Yeah, this is my idea because there are some games that I really like that never quite make the cut for top 40 and so then they don't get a chance for me to talk about how much I enjoyed them. So I just wanted to, give us some time to do that. So, you want to kick it off?
I'll kick it off. All right, my number 10 is a little game for the PS2 that we like to call Rune, Viking Warlord. Now,
I forgot about
a lot of the things that I have on here are games that we played a lot for one little tiny hilarious thing.
Yeah.
Rune Viking Warlord is a shit game.
It's pretty bad.
It's horrible.
Oh my god.
But there is this one stage called Hell.
With one L.
With one L.
With one L.
And there's this one thing that you can do to vary the gameplay. It's called low gravity.
Oh my god.
So basically, Rune is a fighting game.
Yeah, it's just a fight pit.
It's a third-person fight pit.
Medieval, you run around, you pick up whatever weapons you can.
So what we always used to do is we'd get our multi-tap together, and we would play 4-player low-gravity Hell, all bones.
All bones.
So, and in addition,
how did we kill each other?
we were only allowed to throw. So you can get all of these weapons all over the stage, and all we could do is throw.
And then, you can use a special effect for each weapon. One of them has unlimited throw, and nobody ever figured out.
Nobody ever remembered, except for Calvin, and we hated Calvin because he'd just be like, unlimited throw. I think it was the Sigurd axe or something. I don't remember. We're going to have to play this for recording purposes, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we had so much fun just throwing stuff into the bouncy
The bounce pads, yeah. You throw a weapon in, it has the same effects as when you walk into it.
Yeah, what happens is you throw it at the complete side, and it just shows up in the middle, bounces straight in. And one time we tried to play the game normal, not in Hell, not as bones, and it was the worst thing ever. So we just went right back to fun. This map is goofy and kind of fun and weirdly formatted.
Yeah. No, it was great. We played it and we managed to guess all the perfect settings the first time.
Yeah, and that's it. That's Rune Viking Warlord. You can buy it at your local game store for $1 to $2.50 because that's what they're selling it for. It's useless, but we had our fun. Rune Viking Warlord.
All right, my number 10. My game of the year last year. Spoiler if you haven't seen it, it was Rainbow Six Siege, because it's a really good game. They do so much that no other game really does. But the reason I was excited for it at first was because of Rainbow Six Vegas 2.
Absolutely.
This Rainbow Six Vegas 2 actually was almost on my top games list, but I felt weird including it just for one game mode.
Yeah.
Because Terrorist Hunt is so good. It's so much fun. Because it's when Matt and I played, if you actually wanted to do well, you actually had to be somewhat tactical. Close the doors behind you so you can hear them opening. Check your corners. Be strategic. But that's also just fun because you can put your fucking face on the guys.
That's it. Yeah, just your face.
It looks so fucking dumb. And all of them have just bad hair. And it's like, your hair is always like some shade of green.
Of course.
But it does some things that I don't know any other games that do. Like, it's L is your cover button. And then with the way that you hold the analog stick, it depends on where you're looking and where you're peeking, and the transitions between first person and third person.
Wasn't there leaning?
Yeah, the leaning. A lot of customizability for you can run around with the sniper. It's almost never appropriate to have a sniper rifle, but you can. And yeah, it was a bit of a bummer when we played Siege, and I mean it had terrorist hunt, but it wasn't the same. It was going for something different, and I've come to accept it because that's not the kind of game that it was going for. It wasn't Rainbow Six Vegas 3. And so yeah, if we want like this sort of experience, as far as I know, we have to go back and play Rainbow Six Vegas 2. But at least it's a really, really fun game, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't play it in the height of its popularity.
Yeah, it probably would have been fun. You could probably set up online, too.
Yeah, probably.
That, and I haven't played it enough to remember that it was that different. I forgot about closing doors. That's awesome.
Yeah, no. We played it a lot. Me, Matt, and some other people. So, good stuff.
I got my Xbox just a little bit too late. Speaking of playing basically one game mode, and only one game mode on a game, my number 9 is Flatout 2.
Yeah.
Flatout 2 is a cute little racing game in which I still think it controls just bad. So basically what happens is if you try and play the regular game, it sucks. But what you really have to do is put in those cheat codes, grab your Flatmobile, and go to your nearest canal, because golly gee, it's just fun to hit the accelerator button and your car just goes. And this is one of those, like, I mean, it kind of is semi-realistic, yet at the same time, like, not. So, you got the goofy stuff where you get jettisoned from the car every time you hit something really hard. So, like, basically, me and Matt used to play this all the time, and we would get one lap, and then our car would blow up. Basically, you got the Flatmobile, it's the Batmobile, but Flatout 2, and you hit one extreme ramp, you barrel roll the car 5 times, and all your wings are gone, and you're missing a tire. And we just had so much fun doing that. We did that last week. That's how much fun that stuff is.
I think it's interesting, because it's like, stuff like that, it doesn't have like, I can't think of arcade races right now that have like sustainable damage like that. It's like, your car is either all good or it's gone and then you reset.
Yeah, or you reset. But that's not that game. It's like you crash, you're done. Like, that's the end of your race.
Yeah.
Also in Flatout 2, there's the wonderful little mini games in which you shoot yourself out of your car and you hit some bowling pins, or you go far, or just, that was just the PS2 era.
Yeah, no, I have
stuff like that.
I have very fond memories of that, because I always used to hang out with Kyler, and I would spend the night at his place, and we would spend all night playing one game. And it would usually be like, I don't know, maybe a different game every time. Sometimes it would, we'll play Battlefront 2. We'll just play it for all night. And then, so one time I go and we're like, okay, we'll play Flatout, and I'd never played it before. And that's all we did, was just mini games. It's like, okay, let's just play bowling, let's play the high jump, stuff like that.
The Royal Flush one?
Yeah, we never actually did any of the races. And I think that's kind of funny. Because I also have, like, not as fond as you or Matt, but I do have fond memories of that game just for the mini games.
Yeah, and like, that's the game. That's the fun. Like, the real game, I don't even know what it is. And then the third thing, the final thing that like was in that game was there's Demo Derby. So we would use the Flatmobile in the Demo Derby. It's basically just, boost, accelerate immediately, miss all cars, hit the wall, half your health gone. We'd hand off the controller for hours, and it was so much fun.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah. Flatout 2, just goofy, man.
All right. My number 9 was a a game that was very, very close to being on my top 40, just barely was not included. It's Rayman Origins.
Okay.
I talk about this game a lot.
Okay.
Because I think it's one of the best platformers of the last generation. There are not a lot of like 2D platformers, but with the amount of variety that this game had in environments, enemies, music, the music is really, really good, and all of it looks just absolutely beautiful. And then just the amount of content in the game is really good, because it's like you think you get to the end, and then there's like, oh, here's the other half of the game. And you're like, oh. And then it's got like, it's really perfect for me, because I'm a like completionist and I'm a perfectionist, and so it's like, okay, go through and collect everything. Okay, you did that, now go through it in like a minute and a half. I'm like, oh, okay. And every single level is a time trial. And so I go through and I do all of that. And I 1,000 pointed this game on the 360 because it was an absolute blast. And you get to the end and it actually gets really, really difficult. But I always think it's like a certain level of fair difficulty. And it can become a very fast platformer, and you really, really have to be quick on your feet. Your reaction time has to get pretty damn solid. And it has co-op, and I don't think I've ever played. I think I played it once co-op with somebody else, but I don't know, something like that. I'm perfectly fine just playing it by myself, because it's enough of a challenge and it's interesting enough that I don't need to. I don't need, or I kind of don't even want another player playing it. I actually only ever played it with Kyla, and he spent the entire time stun locking me into a corner. So.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think I would get annoyed with something like that, because especially since I had played it, beat it, I would be familiar with the controls and I'd be doing every jump perfectly, and then people would die behind me and I would just waiting and be upset with me that I'm going on ahead. So maybe it's for the best that I haven't played that with anybody else.
Calvin's too good at games.
Yeah, I also feel kind of bad because I got Rayman Legends last year, and I don't know, it didn't have the same effect on me. Everybody talks about how that game is really good, and it even includes some of the levels from Origins, but I don't know, I couldn't get into it. Maybe it was because I was busy playing other things and I never really took the time to focus on it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's me with that.
Did it have any raving rabid levels in it?
No, as far as I know, I don't remember seeing a single rabid.
Oh. But I toy. All right, so my number 8 is a neat little Nintendo Entertainment System game that I picked up. It was almost an honorable mention on the 15-16 list. Wait, no. Wait, what list was this? That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, 16.
No, must have been the year before.
Gotcha.
Okay, so almost an honorable mention on the 15 list. Because, played it, and it was just a goofy, fun time, and number 8 is The Legend of Cage. And it's just ridiculous. This game is so silly. It's just, okay, so you're a ninja, and you just jump and throw shurikens, and that's it, and there are unlimited ninjas everywhere coming at you. There's no form to the game. There's no order.
Yeah.
It's just, there are ninjas. Pick up the candies. Maybe you get stronger. Who knows?
Do you want to say how we learned about this game?
This game was on my favorite episode of Continue.
Yeah, mine as well.
And it's a real bummer that this isn't in like their popular most 10, but it is great.
It's so fucking funny.
It is so funny. I picked up this game for like $4 once. I found it and I said, oh man, that'd be goofy. And I played it and it was almost as funny as watching the video.
Yeah,
almost, because it's a really damn good video.
You just play it and then you're running around and you're like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah, there's that part where all of a sudden you're like thunderstruck and then they're just ninjas falling from the sky. Yeah. And then there's that part where you accidentally get farther, and I got farther, and that's why I liked the game. I was like, I don't know what I did. Good enough, I guess.
It's funny because you can imagine the developers of this game, and they're all just sitting in a room like, wouldn't it be so cool if you could do this? And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do that.
And kids like candy, so that'll be like the power up.
Yeah.
And then your shurikens get bigger, it's like,
and then thunder,
and
and they're like, just falling from the sky.
There's like that guy who's got like that Bowser fire. It's like, Legend of Cage is just a fun old goofy time.
Oh
So
my God.
grab it for your NES. It's really cheap, and have a good old time.
Yep. All right. My number 8 is Sonic Generations.
All right.
I'm not really a Sonic fan, like at all. I always tried to. I had a Sega Genesis as a kid, but I also had. That was after I had like a PlayStation 2, and so it was, okay. I guess I'll try and play all these old games since I've already played all my PS2 games. And I mean, I got kind of close to the end, I think, in Sonic 2, and it's kind of tough because the first game I played was a Sonic clone called Socket, which I honestly hold higher than most Sonic games because it means more to me, and I actually beat it. But Sonic Generations came out, and people were like, you know what, this is actually a good Sonic game. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And they played it. I'm like, this is a good Sonic game. I like my time trials. I like games where I go fast, but it's not like given to me that you're going fast. There's some level of precision, and you can fuck it up. You can end up going on slower routes, but it's got very, very good flow for the most part. I think some of the later levels end up really, really grinding down, but I think it did a really good job of showing this is what good classic Sonic levels are like, without having to go play a classic Sonic level, like on a Genesis. And it's like, this is what people have been trying to do with the modern Sonic. And they're like, oh, this is great. Why don't they just do this more? It's like, wow, the homing attack, makes sense. And the enemies are placed in a way that if you like hit each one, you can like move on, and you can hit like a spring. And if you miss it, well, then you gotta go on the lower path and slower. You don't want to do that. And so it's got an awful lot of I think I just think it has really good level design, really good flow. I mean, the story's garbage, like most Sonic games probably. But you don't really care. Also, all the boss battles are just ass. Actually, now that I think about it, they're just really bad. But the rest of the game is really good. Again, I'm a fucking perfectionist, so I like going through and trying to find all the hidden red coins. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And I always talk about that because it's like, you know what? That was a good one. And everybody's like, yeah, that was a good one. I'm like, yeah. I don't know.
And then they're like, what other one did you play?
Well, is this Socket? So yeah, go check out that one if you've ever been unsure about what a good Sonic game is like, because they exist. Just barely.
Okay, so my number 7. Let's get a little classic up in here, Started a long time ago. Good old-fashioned game. My number 7 is, because I don't know which one to pick, or I don't remember which one we originally played, is Geometry Wars.
Yeah, dang, I forgot about that.
Geometry Wars is a neat little game where geometry has wars.
Yeah?
Take a high five for that?
No. Try again.
It's a game in which you're a shape, and usually you shoot other shapes. Geometry Wars. Look at that, it makes sense, am I right? This is a game, it's just simple fun,
Yeah.
Like, literally, the game, it's a twin-stick shooter. You move with your left stick, you shoot with your right.
Mm-hmm.
It's really efficient. Like, it's just a really, really fun little kind of mini-game type of game. That's the whole game.
Yeah. It's very, very pick up and play.
Yeah.
It's not a big time investment.
Yeah, and it's like, you got friends, or like, you're waiting for something to happen. Like, you got 10 minutes? Pop in Geometry Wars, no problem. You got friends over who don't really play video games? I got Geometry Wars. It's pretty simple to understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it becomes like a mess in your eyes. But
even then, if you're bad, you can still enjoy it. It's like, holy shit, there's so much going on.
There's so much going on, and it's, it's easy pick up play, really addictive. And then, it's got the best game mode possible. It's got pacifism.
Pacifism is so good.
Why would you want to shoot when you can't? And then sometimes we played ultimate pacifism, where we just deliberately didn't play the game mode, where we're like, all right, 0 points.
Every game of pacifism starts with, who can move the absolute latest.
That's true. That is where we got to.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you just lose.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, I can wait. Oh,
Oh, you went straight for me?
yeah, I'm dead. But then it's like, okay, so you're dead. You sit out for like 20 seconds, and then everybody dies, and then you're back in.
Or then sometimes you sit out for 4 minutes because like the one guy who stayed in is on the craziest run, and it's so
Oh my god,
so crazy.
I've had some fucking crazy ass runs in that game, and it's amazing. It's a lot of what's the word? It's very, very satisfying
Yeah, it's just very satisfying
and
to do well.
rewarding.
Very rewarding, very satisfying. You get your 200 gamer score, and there you go.
Yeah, get your 200 gamer score. Do you know anybody that has 200 gamer score in that game?
How could you? Isn't it like you have to make the smiley face?
You have to beat sequence, and then you have to beat it only losing certain levels.
Sequence is hard.
Yeah, no, that was rough. I almost got it. Oh, it's so fucking close. I was on the last or second to last level.
Oh, that's rough.
I think I ran out of lives on the second to last level, and I like put it down forever.
Probably.
All right, maybe one of these days we'll get the third one.
Did that come out for PS4?
Mm-hmm.
That's my let's play.
All right. Yeah, maybe. What are we on, 7?
Yep.
My number 7 is Terraria. Did I ever play this with you?
No.
Okay, probably for the best, honestly, because I tried to play it with somebody on the 360, and that game does not work on a console. Like, they've released it for every single console, and it doesn't work on a console. It's like, oh, you need the precision of a mouse. You need to say, okay, I want to dig out this. And they're like, well, it made it easier, so we could just dig like the closest one to wherever your stick's going. And it's like, no, don't do that. Just use a fucking mouse, all right? Terraria is a game that everybody looks at and says, wow, it's bad 2D Minecraft. And it's just not. It starts off and you're like, okay, you gotta make a little house, you gotta dig it out, you have a little pickaxe, and you make like a workbench. Wow, that's just like Minecraft. And then you get a little bit further in, and it's like, okay, here's this thing, now go kill the boss. And you're like, oh. And it's like, you spawn the first boss, and it's this giant eyeball. And like, okay, what do we have to fight this? Do we have like our melee weapons, like our spears? Or do we have a bow and arrow? Or maybe we just found a gun, okay? Let's just shoot it with a gun, okay? And I play this with Rob, and we have a great time with this. Admittedly, we've fallen off. We try to pick it back up, and it's kind of tough because it's always kind of an investment. But it's, I think it took the idea of Minecraft, and then it really molded its own thing out of it, and it made it. It's a lot about exploration, and it's a little bit about building stuff, but it's also more about finding things, getting upgrades, and killing bosses. And so it's like, okay, let's go to the next dungeon. Oh, there's this giant skeleton thing that's it's blocking this dungeon. What do we have to kill it? I found a snowball gun. How do we get ammo for it? Just dig snow. You shoot the snowball gun. What gun do you have? Oh, it's called the mini shark. It's like, okay, well, do we have the bullets for that? And it's like, yeah, well, we built a room in our house that's got a bed and a table. So then the arms dealer moved in. Okay, good. We need another one. Let's hope we get the person that sells us like fishing bait or something. Oh, we got the person that sells different colored wallpaper. All right, whatever. But it's so much like, as you progress in the game, you get so many things that just make you way better, and you equip these things. It's like, okay, I found boots that make me run a lot faster if it's a long straightaway. You can just wait. You can go slowly. I found a hook so I can make a grappling hook. I found a cloud in a bottle so I get 2 jumps, and it gets a bit tough when it's like, well, I found this, but we only have one, so one of us is going to be well equipped, or we'll both be like kind of equipped. There's a whole lot to do in that game, and I think the music is stellar. I think the different biomes are really well done, and I I just really appreciate how much there is, how much content there is, and how different it is than Minecraft. And I think it's kind of a indie darling on the internet because it's a lot of content. I think it sells for $10, which you can really easily get for $2.50. And people that don't know what it is, it might get a bad rap because it just looks like bad Minecraft, or it looks like one of those games that you would see on the App Store. That's like a knockoff game and a fake game, but it's not. It's really well done, and so I think it deserves all the praise that it can get. So you want to play Terraria with me?
I mean, I don't have a computer, but I mean, if it's on a low PS4 sale, I know that you like it on a console.
Yeah, their advertising director should be fired. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like garbage Minecraft.
Yeah.
All right, my number 6 is Destroy All Humans. The first one.
I've heard a lot of good things about the second one, but basically this goes back to the summer I played Bully. It was like, I don't want to play my Wii. My Wii's garbage. So I'm going to play my PS2 because it's a much better system. I can already tell. It's like great. So I started playing Destroy All Humans. That's a fun game. Like I wouldn't say that it's like comedically the best game I've ever played, but it'll make you chuckle.
That's good.
It's got some decent writing. I like it. I liked a lot of the powers are really good. You can fling cows wherever. Like I mean, yeah, you go into a city, you fling cows, you get all these crazy powers. I'm going to be completely honest, it's been a very long time since I played this game, and I played it like one summer, and then I got to an annoying boss, and I just kind of stopped, but I really liked it. I was like, this is a pretty neat game. At some point, I should definitely get back into it again, but I think it's just a pretty decently written game. The story's pretty goofy. I heard 2 it plays a little better. I mean, I think it was a good start. Neat little game. Good sense of humor. Funny. I'm gonna say the same things over and over again. I have really forgotten this game.
I think one of the interesting things is, it's awfully telling the scope of the PS2's library, because we can just say, oh, there's this neat little gem for the PS2. The PS2 just had this weird game on it.
Yeah.
And it holds true for so many things. We could say, oh, well, yeah, we look at my library and it's like, oh, I found this, we found this weird game. And it's, it's pretty good. I mean, yeah, you'll see one and it's like, oh, maybe this game not so much. But, I don't know. It's got a lot of good stuff. A lot of fond PS2 memories for both of us, and I think we'll have that for a very long time.
Yeah, grab up Rune, Viking, Warlord, and you're like, wow. What a great game.
All right. My number 6, which you, very fortunately, had some great time with very recently, well, not very recently, but somewhat recently, is Road Rash 64.
Ooh.
That game is so great. It's one of the first games I played on the Nintendo 64, and I think it gets overshadowed a lot with like Mario Kart, but it's really
just fun.
It's just fun.
That's it. It's like, it's flat fun. You're like, let's pop in this goofy racing game. It's fun. You're going to have fun.
Yeah, and
that's
it's like,
the game.
One of the things that I like about it is there's a game over state, but it only happens if you either get busted a lot or if you absolutely wreck your bike a lot.
Yeah.
But if you get in last, that's fine. Just do the race again. And one of the things that allows for is you can, honest to God, have exploration in this game, which I think is great. Like, you have weapons. You start off with the shittiest weapon, a fucking tire iron or something. But if you know where some of the weapons are, you could just say, okay, this race is gonna be a wash, but I'm gonna do a ramp off a guardrail and get a sledgehammer.
Oh.
And so then you're like, you're riding along, and there's the other people on the bikes, and they're the cops, and they're the pedestrians, which are like the fucking, and they're just so meaty when you hit them. But then you're just like, with a sledgehammer, and the fucking like Payne sounds and wrecking sounds that the other people make it so funny. It's a whole lot of fun, and I actually think this game is kind of rare because I don't see it in a lot of places, and when I do see it, it's kind of expensive. And everybody's talking about how I think that the original developers might be working on a new one. It's like in early access or Kickstarted, And, you know, I'm always wary about that because there's been so many issues with things like that happening and it's just not as good.
And it's like, how is the game gonna work now compared to like the simplistic fun that it was?
Yeah,
before?
like it's got this kind of goofy, like muddled. I mean, it's on the N64, so all the art is just kind of blurred into each other, and it's bad 3D polygons. But it's a lot of fun. And then you get to the very, very last stage, and it's like, because with each world, like after you finish all the races, you go to the next world, and they're all longer races, and you get better bikes, and they're faster. And you get to the last one, and it's like, okay, here's the fastest fucking bike possible. There's like 2 of them, and then here's a race that's just straight and it ends in a wall. I'm like, this is incredible.
That's so good.
It's so fucking fun. So yeah, it's one of those games where I think it's like, you know, I would like to play this, and then maybe sometimes we do play it. I'm like, yeah, this is just good fun.
This is a goofy comparison point, but what I see Road Rash as is vertical downhill horizontal downhill domination.
That's a good point.
I think that's what it's like. It's like, you know, you're on a bike and you drive fast and you can hit the people next to you. But like downhill, it's like, you know, you're on a mountain. The mountain makes you go faster. So then, you know, that's how that works.
I think that's actually a pretty solid comparison because, as we know, I still really, really like downhill domination, even if you think it's a bit too goofy for credibility.
You know, they tied on the last.
They did
top
tie.
40.
That's true. They did tie.
40.
All right.
That game is semi-jank.
Unlike Road Rash 64, which is not jank at all.
No way. My number 5 is a game we played on a whim one day.
Oh, best games.
And decided, this game's really well made. Why is it so cheap? I don't know. It's kind of fun. I guess nobody's playing anymore. That's probably why. My number 5 is Bulletstorm. For the 360.
Bulletstorm.
Bulletstorm was, I don't know how to describe Bulletstorm. It's like, okay, so there's this first-person shooter. And what you do is you kill people really cool.
Yeah.
You kick them into spike walls.
Yeah.
You
tether them and then you kick them off the fucking planet.
And it's incredible because we made videos of this game, and it was
no, don't bring attention to them.
They're bad. All right. There's a reason that you don't know where they are, and we haven't shared them. But basically, it was us learning how to play the game. We started playing the game. We're like, okay, just shoot the guy in the face. Oh, but geez, that was really ratchet, man. We just shot that guy. And oh my God, kick! Basically, it was us learning how, like, what buttons did.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit! I just kicked that guy off the map.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's like, there's the multiplayer, like the split screen. It's not kill them all. I mean, it kind of is, but you get to later parts. It's like, oh, you didn't kill them cool enough.
It's like you can't advance until you kill them the coolest way. So you have to get like specialty kills on every single person, and it's like you'll be in a late level. You're like, oh, I just bled him out through the neck. That sucks.
Yeah, we'd say, oh crap, he died normally.
That's what we always said. Just because everything's goofy, it's like kick, tether, throw into cactus.
yeah. And it's also like visceral and like just.
That's all it is. It's just people exploding.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, we have to get a duck kick final kill. Okay, come here. We would just kick a guy 5 times in a row. Just back and forth.
Oh my God, yeah, we had a whole lot of fun with that game.
We had so much fun just playing Bulletstorm for a month, and that was the end of us playing Bulletstorm.
Yeah.
I tried to play the campaign, and it was all right. And I think the funniest thing is the main character of Bulletstorm, voiced by Take Dempsey.
Yeah. Fun fact, it was almost on my top 10 games I want to talk about. I very, very narrowly actually took it out for the game that I'm going to talk about next. But actually, I think it's great. I think don't buy the remastered one.
I don't understand why they remastered the game. I'm so confused.
I think it's because they knew that it kind of has a cult following, and so they're like, well, maybe if we could tap into that little demographic, and then other people can see, this is actually a really good game. And then they're like, let's sell it for $60.
No, it's not worth that.
No.
I'm not even sure I'd pay like $20 for it. Guys,
Right.
this game is like $1 on a 7th gen system.
Yeah,
Just
pick
buy
it
it,
up for an Xbox or something.
pick it up for an old system and have fun, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Just goofing around, killing people as fancy as possible.
Yeah, great game.
Why did they mess like
All right, my number 5, totally different. It's Elite Beat Agents. Have you heard of Elite Beat Agents?
No.
So,
not?
have you heard of the game Osu for the iOS devices?
Still no.
Okay, so imagine they took Guitar Hero, the idea of Guitar Hero, where the notes come at you and you have to hit them in a certain way to a song. Now, we put it on a touchscreen, and so it's like, okay, with each beat you gotta go tap, 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 hold, follow it, tap, 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 hold, follow it. And that's the idea. That's what Elite Beat Agents is. It was a very, very early DS game. Like, it probably came out in 2006. I remember seeing commercials on it when we watched, like, fucking Channel 1 news at school or something. So, I love rhythm games.
Yeah, rhythm
And
games
I
are
think
awesome.
Elite Beat Agents, it's such a weird idea. You were gonna send in these agents to stop something. Dance. So you bust out your stylus and you like, you know, I remember I went to somebody was having a birthday party and everybody had gone to bed, and except for me and like one other person. And so we took turns playing like Elite Beat Agents. It was a lot of fun. And then he went to bed and I was like, okay, maybe I'll try Pokemon Dungeon since I don't have a DS and I want to try this new Pokemon game. And I'm like walking around as Charmander. I'm like, this is fucking boring. I toss in Elite Beat Agents. You get to listen to fucking Walkie Talkie Man. That's the only song I remember from that game. It was a lot of fun, and I love my rhythm games. I don't think they're enough, and I think it really paved the way for a game like Osu, which is basically the same thing, but I guess a little bit Japanese or something, and on an iOS device. So if you want to try a nice touch-based rhythm game, and you don't have a DS, play Osu. But if you do, find Elite Beat Agents. It's really cheap. It's like $250.
Oh. That's actually the last portable console I own, so maybe.
Yeah, no, check it
That
out.
sounds pretty cool. Oh boy, we're on 4, right?
Yeah, we're on 4.
Oh boy. Oh boy. My number 4 is Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Oof. What?
So
What?
here's the thing about Call of Duty Black Ops 2. The game is dumb. The zombies are the worst
Oh my
thing
god, yeah,
ever.
it's the worst.
They're
I fucking hated
so
them.
bad. Like,
People keep saying they're good, and I don't believe them.
I can't.
I don't understand it.
Guys, we tried to record us playing Transit, and it was the most miserable
Oh my God,
thing.
yeah. And like one of our best videos, like one of our favorite videos, are just like the Shangri-La stuff, the fucking Call of the Dead stuff.
Yeah.
Then we tried to do it again, and it's like, oh, this is annoying. It's all annoying.
Every part of the zombies are annoying. Origins, they were close to not making something annoying. Except for when you get stepped on. Except for when Bioshock 2 comes and just kills you. Like, why were these things added to zombies? It's the most, like, aggravating things. You think, like, monkeys were bad in Ascension? No, you haven't seen shit. There's fire everywhere in Transit. It's like, what? This is the worst thing ever. The campaign, like, I never even fucking played it. There were, like, horses. There's this first scene where you watch a guy burn to death, and I was like, oh, wow. Trying to really draw me in here with your great game. Oh, wow, jeez. This is number 4 because Call of Duty Black Ops 2 has the greatest challenge system in the history of all video games. It's so good. I can't. It's amazing. It's the.
Why
Look,
is it good?
Why is it good? First, this is the first game to implement a gold camo system. It's like,
What?
okay, pretty sure. Like, as in the Call of Duties. Look, hi, big Call of Duty. I mean, like, a convoluted. This was the first system in which it wasn't get 150 headshots.
Yeah.
Get a ton of headshots.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, okay, so get 10 long shots with this gun. Okay,
So
Yeah.
get like 10 bloodthirsties with this gun.
Okay.
Okay. Do like all this weird random stuff. The thing is that makes me bring this up is every game after this has tried and failed miserably.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
I remember your woes with Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare was long shots. You're never going to get more than 10 without being miserable, guys. Like, even Infinite Warfare brought it back to 25, and I was still like, this is too many, and I'm using a sniper rifle. It's too many long shots. Ghosts, 100 leaning kills, 100 sliding kills. With the sniper rifle? Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that. Like, immediately. It's, like, it was so much fun. It's the most addictive, most incredible challenge system. I will talk up that challenge system all day. Like, the gameplay is, when was this game released? Like, after, this was post Modern Warfare 3, right?
Correct.
Like-
Immediately after.
It looked like it definitely looked like the most modern game. I mean, obviously because it was in the future, but like is the cleanest playing COD. If you had an old Xbox, it like didn't work. So it's like, you know, you had to have the slim, and like gameplay in ways were like butt at sometimes. But it was
Don't
like,
try to knife.
Oh man, that was the first game that was like knifing. No. Like there are so many things about the gameplay that aren't great, but the challenge system held it up so good. Like Calvin's sitting here and he doesn't give a butt about challenge systems, and that's why he doesn't care about this game. But me, like there'd just be times where I'm like, I want to go with this. I want to go with this gun. I want to get all the gold gun. I want to diamond the gun. I want to diamond the gun. Like Black Ops 2 was the first game I mastered Prestige because I played it so much. It was like, oh man, I got 15 minutes. I can play a game. I can get a few more kills. Maybe get a bloodthirsty. We'll see. The day that I diamonded the last, that's a great verb. The day I got the last diamond was the crossbow. And you have to get 5 bloodthirsties, and you have no idea how many times I got 4.5. I'd get a hit marker on the last guy, and I'd lose my shit. I was like, I just want this to be over. And like the day I got it, I was at 4, and it was the remake. It's Standoff, so the remake of Take. It was a DLC map from Stadium. It's the remake of Stadium.
Oh, shit.
It was Takeoff. So like literally, I got to 4. I'm in a booth with my I'm like trembling. I'm like, I'm on 4. I can do this. And I hip fired a guy and got him. And I threw the controller and I ran around my house just screaming because I diamonded every gun in the game. And that was one of the most accomplished things I've ever done in a video game. And I
Damn.
felt amazing. I was like, I got every diamond. And also, Black Ops 2, I think has, let's talk it up a little bit. Black Ops 2 has one of the greatest sets of DLC maps. Like, Cove is in my top 10. Or, I think it was like 13 or something. Like, there are like 2 that are in my top 20 maps of all time. Like, the DLC was always solid, as long as it wasn't a Nuketown variant.
Yeah, I talked a lot of hatred for Black Ops 2 because it was the first one that really made me dislike Call of Duty. I mean,
It played not great.
I fell apart with Modern Warfare 3 because I just thought it was very boring, actually. And then Black Ops 2, I played
What would you say was boring, the multiplayer or the...
campaign. I don't give a shit about the campaigns.
The
Spec Ops
campaign-
were not as fun as
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2.
It's like, I can agree with that. The Spec Ops fell
what were the other
apart,
things?
and then the campaign, I do feel disconnected from that campaign. It
What was like the Horde equivalent?
Oh yeah, it was like
Because that was
I don't
really weird.
I don't
and
remember
didn't
what
really
it was,
like
but
that.
it was like it was an attempt, but
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
really.
And then I don't know, all the maps. I mean, Arcanon's great. We know Arcanon's great. But then a lot of the maps
you know,
and a lot of the
I
guns.
always thought I liked Arcanon more than everybody else.
No,
But yeah,
I think
Arcanon
it's
is
really good.
a damn good map.
But just a lot of it just fell flat for me. I didn't have a lot of feeling for it. And then I played a little. Oh.
Was I liked that game too much because the shotguns were incredible. they prioritized how good the
Yeah.
shotguns were, and I'm like, KSG, fucking mad range. Okay, go on Black Ops 2. I'm sorry.
the one thing I will hold very, very highly about Black Ops 2 is we had a lot of fun playing against bots.
Yeah.
1,000 kills, split screen, play against bots. I mean, it sounds really dumb and really mindless because that is what it was, but we were just, hanging out and we don't really want to think. And we want to maybe, talk about some other stuff while occasionally saying, oh my god, I just killed that bot in the dumbest way.
And the thing that we made up this game, it's called Gun Roulette, where basically you kill a bot, you run up to their gun, you pick it up, whatever it is. And they do the dumbest variants. It's so funny. It's like, I mean,
what do I have this KSG with the scope on it or something?
all I can think of is, oh, good. I thought of Black Ops 1. Oh, Enfield with flamethrower. Of course. So, Black Ops 2, favorite challenge system, probably will never be a challenge system better than that.
That's pretty good. That's important.
Yeah.
And it's good that you brought it up. Actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. My number 4 is Max Payne 3.
Oh.
There we go.
I don't actually talk about Max Payne 3 too much.
Yeah, you never talk about Max Payne 3.
I have a shirt because I played it for free at PAX and they gave me a free shirt.
You have the poster.
I have the poster, yeah. I wore the shirt and I hung up the poster before I played the game. And then I got the game. And I'm like, holy shit, this game is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It is so hard. I think I played it on hard difficulty, like not expert. And oh my god, I got my shit pushed in so much because it's like, it's the first game that I played in a long time. It's like a shooter that's not like regenerating health. You have to find the health that it gives you. And
okay.
I thought it was really, really interesting because, and people say this is how previous Max Payne games were like, but it's very, very cinematic. And I thought it controlled kind of wobbly, but the shooting is so good. And the bullet time and the diving is so good. And like, I thought the story was pretty good. I'm very proud of myself that I managed to beat it because it's a fucking pain in the ass. But it was really good. And, I really kind of connected with, the character of Max Payne, even though I'm just, fucking 20-year-old kid, suburbia, not in Brazil, shaving off my hair and taking pills and drinking. But I really felt for this guy. I'm like, holy shit, I want him to stop making mistakes all the time. And one of the other things is, it was one of the first multiplayer games that I played after Call of Duty that I really felt an attachment to and I really, really enjoyed. Especially because it was decently different from most multiplayer games. Max Payne controls differently than most shooters.
You know what? You had me play it once, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? But, like, I remember respecting it. I'm like, this is goofy. Here, let me try and dive.
And it's tough when you're like on a losing streak and you roll a corner and a guy shotguns you in the head and it keeps happening. You get hit from afar, but shit, I thought I had a whole lot of fun with that game in the multiplayer, in the campaign. I don't know. I don't know what the general opinion of it is. I don't think it's discussed enough. I mean, obviously it gets overshadowed by Grand Theft Auto 5 and most other rock star things.
Yeah, true.
But I think it was really good, and I'm really glad I picked it up and I played it. And I mean, like a lot of things on here, there's just not anything that's really like it. So, I give it a lot for just being fun, just diving. Diving is fun. Shooting 2 guns in the air while diving, it's fun. Very cinematic. I always really like that. The gun that you're holding before a cutscene is the gun you're holding in the cutscene.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The little things.
Yeah. It's the details. It's the details in that game. So.
I think Uncharted did that too.
That
made me happy. I was like, yeah, I'm holding this revolver through this cutscene. All right. My number 3 is on here because it's disqualified for this year's best games list. Because it came out a while ago, and we played it, and then we just stopped. And I don't know why. It was a joke between us.
Yeah.
That was like, why don't we play this again? You're like, that'd be funny. We played it again.
Couldn't imagine doing that.
That'd be ridiculous.
Might as well just go to bed.
Yep. My number 3
is Helldivers.
Flatout.
Democracy Strikes Back.
That's so fucking good.
Helldivers is amazing. It's really fun. And, like, I just want to go back to the first time I played it, when I'm like, man, this game is really convoluted. It's got a lot of stuff. You know, like, all is, like, so many details. You know, you got to do all this thing. You got to hit, like, 100 buttons in order to, like, save your teammate. Like, this game's, wow, it's, like, a lot. I swear, we played it once, and that was it.
Yeah.
We played it once, we never played it again. This was a free PS4 game, and that's why we all got it. And, like, I always had these thoughts after I played it, like, you know, it'd be a really good 4-player tactical game. It's goofy time, you know. You can throw turrets. You can be tactical about what you're doing. You can talk about our first time.
Well, no, I was going to say, I always felt a little bit bad because I saw playthroughs of this, and then it became free, and I'm like, guys, we should really play this. And then we played it, and even I was like, this isn't so great. You know? Like, we were all very, very lukewarm about it, and we're like, okay, this is just a game.
Like, I don't know why, but we just stopped. I uninstalled the game. Like, years passed. Was this an honorable mention for last year, or was it the year before? I don't even remember.
I don't think it was an honorable mention.
Like, what I remember what it was for me was, I didn't say it as an honorable mention, but it was on the cut of honorable mentions.
Oh.
So I was gonna mention it because I'm like, you know, it was all right, I guess. We started playing this game like 3 weeks ago, and it's the best thing ever. We're like, okay, so now, you know, we'll upgrade our people, all-terrain boots.
All-terrain boots.
Who wants to know where your shots are gonna go when you can just accidentally shoot your teammates? We are the greatest at killing each other, and it just makes the game so much more fun.
Because almost never does it happen, and we're like, oh, come on, again? It's always like, you're such a fucking asshole.
we get mad, we lose it, we just start laughing. It's like the goofiest thing ever.
And it's like, when I play the game, I have to take the role of leader and say, okay, we're going here, we're doing this. Guys, fucking keep up with me. And even if that sounds like annoying for me, I still really enjoy it.
And all becomes is me and Matt are at the back. He's got his mech suit. He's shooting backwards. You know, I'm shooting backwards sometimes, you know. We're running, and I'm like, let's see if I can shoot between everybody on one shot. Instant kill, teammate.
Let's have the beam gun out, and as we're running, let's just give one little sort of, just to let you know that I'm back here, you know?
That was my favorite thing, where somebody would like give me lips, and I just turn to him and just...
And you would like spin around in a circle with your sniper, and then you get really close to hitting us.
And sometimes hit us. Because it's just like, I don't have a laser sight. I'm like, whatever.
It's like we would play, and like I would be doing something, and then all of a sudden I'm dead to a shotgun. I had like pretty good health. I just look at Matt, and he's got like the straightest, like, I didn't do anything face. Don't look at me. There's no way I would have done that.
And it's like, Matt will, because basically the mech suit is, you know, it's a walking turret.
Yeah.
So A, he'll step on you. B, he'll shoot you. And luckily there's a dive button, so sometimes you live, you know, like 20% of the time you'll live to Matt shooting over you. And then like the turrets, you put them in a corner, and then, you know,
they shoot you.
They just point towards you, because that's where the enemies are, and the turrets are like, gotta kill the enemies. This game is just a dadgum blast, and we're like...
I'm so glad that we picked it up again.
We're subpar at it, and that's almost what makes it better.
We were having such a hard time on the easy level yesterday.
Oh, but it was so funny.
It's so funny.
You know?
I mean, we made it. We didn't wipe. Well, we wiped that one time.
We wiped the one time.
After we would have bugs.
Yeah, it's like all of the... kill this many enemies is the worst. That's the worst one, because then they spawn on top of you, and the turret's like, okay. Like, we backed ourselves into a corner, and still the turrets turn around. The bugs get around. You're like, oh, okay, cool. My favorite from last night was the time you just walked into a pit, and I was just like, I'm coming for you.
And then Matt threw the spawn into the pit. Luckily, he was smart enough to say, better not spawn them there.
Helldivers.
Yeah.
It's a blast. Get it. It's really fun. Actually, I'm pretty sure this game is kind of cheap.
Probably.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's like a.
You can find it on sale at a digital, or you can just find it
on a
as
disc. I'm pretty
physical,
sure it's like $10 to $15 used. So yeah, Helldivers.
Yeah.
Fun game.
All right, my number 3. I don't like racing games very much. Although the more I say that, the more I think maybe I do like racing
Where you
games.
keep putting racing games on your list.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that might be it. Because I'm like, holy shit, there's more to this game than I thought. Especially with this one. Number 3 is Driver San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
I talk about this game a lot as well.
I remember that.
Because this game does some things that, like many on this list, no other game does. And it's like, the premise of this game is that you're a guy who was in a car accident, and it's not really a spoiler alert, but a lot of it takes place while you're in a hospital bed. And so you're like, and it does that between like each chapter of the game. It's like you're in there and people are trying to talk to you, and you're driving around the city. And when I say you're driving around the city, you astrally project and you take control of people. And
whoa.
so it's like if you're driving like this van and gets in a wreck, it's like, well shit, I was doing pretty good. I don't want to back this out. I'm stuck in an alleyway. Okay, I'll just take another car. and so you do that, and then it creates. They take that and they do some really really fun stuff with it, because it's like, all right, here's a nice side mission. This guy is doing driving with his driving instructor. Let's just freak out his driving instructor. So you're like, okay, let's go on this like off-road thing with all the ramps. Your driver instructor's like shouting. It's like, what is going on here? And the story is actually I really liked it. I mean, it's got a lot of cheese, but it doesn't take itself seriously. Like with each like chapter, you can like pull yourself farther back away, and at the very end, you can actually pull yourself back away that you start hearing like the beeping of the monitors in the hospital, which I think is a really neat detail. And one of the missions, which I will hold as one of the greatest missions in any game, requires honest to God second person gameplay, because somebody like is aware of what you can do, and so you could say, okay, I'm in this car, but I'm gonna take control of the person behind me. And so you're looking first person view through a car, but you control the car in front of you, and the car that you're in is following the car that you're controlling. And it's really like, it starts up and I'm like, I gas it, and then the one in front goes, and then I go, and I'm like, wait a minute, and do it again, and it's like, this is insane. And it is really, really clever, and it's just a really, really well done game. I don't know. It's like, if I probably played a lot of racing games, maybe I'd be like, well, the actual car handle's not great, but it's pretty good. I think you have boosting in that game. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
You can't like jump over like railings because it's like not supposed to go here. Just hit invisible walls. But you know, it's got like ramp cars. It's got built-in ramps. It's got like off-road stuff. There's a lot to do. A lot of side missions. I don't know. I just it's. I guess it's like, if you want to make a racing game that I want to play, it's got to do something that's more than just racing. And this game definitely does that. It's got a mechanic that I don't think is in any other driving game. It's got a pretty solid story, and it does a lot of creative things with what it's trying to do. So, all the way, Driver San Francisco. It probably could make it on like my actual top 40. It's just been a while since I played it. I highly recommend if anybody's looking for a driving game, but it also just a fun, I don't know, just a fun game. Pick it up. It can't be too expensive. It was on the 360 like 5 years ago.
I'm hoping that when you do a driver instructor mission, that their car has boost also. Obviously, your driver instructor car is going to have boost. My number 2 has one of the most referenced things that we ever reference, yet we never talk about this game. Because why would we? Nobody wants to talk about this game. This game is great, and I like to think about it. My number 2 is Army of Two. Army of Two talk about games that don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, you're totally right.
How about you're one of two big assholes and you just shoot guys, and you know what? That's the game.
It's like, imagine if the players that played Call of Duty were the protagonists.
Yeah, like, that's the whole game. It's like, you two guys, go take out all these guys.
And then the two characters are like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
It's like, let's do this step jump.
Yeah,
woo.
back to back.
Back to back.
I got the aggro.
There are so many things in this game that are just endlessly memorable,
Yeah,
but
no.
the game is just not so great. But it's, at the same time, it is great, you know? It's one of those games that you wish you could still play, but you can't because they shut down the server.
You can do a split screen.
You can do split screen Army of Two at the very least, and it's just such a cool little game.
Yeah, I remember Kyler and I, we played it at PAX at one of the little tables, and we started off just playing Left 4 Dead 2. It's like, okay, we know this game's good, and we're like, let's give this a try. We start playing it, we're like, this is fucking bonkers, man.
And the game, I mean, seriously, it does not take itself seriously.
Yeah.
There are instances where you'll open a door and then one of the guys will just, he'll just like hit the guy with the door. So the other guy will just punch the other guy in the face. And that's it. And then they're just, all right, go back to shooting guys.
It's pretty good.
And like it adds all these like little things. Like for example, back to back. There's
Back
this
to
little thing where you're just like, guess we'll just stand back to back and just shoot like the guys that just circle us.
There are guys coming from every angle. Well, let's just
Let's just
spin.
bullet time,
Yeah.
spin really slow, shoot them one at a time, really goofy. And then sometimes you'll be like facing the same direction, and one of them will just dip down a little bit, and the other will dip up, and you can both just shoot in that direction.
Oh my god, it's
There's
so funny.
a synchro sniping thing that no one ever uses.
Yeah, why would you? It's just funnier to just, okay, go.
Where you go, all right, 3, and then we just don't listen to it. The game adds this thing, it's called aggro. Basically what happens is you shoot a lot, then all the enemies are like, wow, that guy's really important. So you glow red, and then they just don't know about the other guy.
Yeah.
So you can just sneak up on people and just shoot them in the back. There are all these crazy gun upgrades. I loved my Desert Eagle. All I would do is there'd be a guy running across the street. I'd fire once, and he would do just the most ridiculous fly through the air. He'd like jump after he was shot. It was so powerful.
Fucking Quentin Tarantino level shit.
Yeah, this game is so, it's just silly.
Yeah, and it's a good contrast to all the modern military games that just take themselves really seriously. Maybe it's in bad taste now that I think about it, because it's like, wow, we maybe shouldn't give people the idea that, yeah, shooting people is just good fun because it's all war. But like, if you could get past that and say, well, it's just a dumb video game.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a
quite possibly the perfect foil to Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah, it is. That's true. It's like, you play military shooters and you suck. But what if you don't care?
Yeah.
It's awesome. Army of Two is awesome. Army of the 40th Day is not so awesome. It's super mediocre, and it takes itself like, cut the goofiness in half and fill it in with seriousness, and it's like, no, it doesn't work. And I have just heard terrible things about the Devil's Cartel.
I have as well.
I've never played it. I kind of want it. I just want to see how
Yeah.
bad it is, but I never have. So Army of Two, good fun. If you want to bring your buddy over to play split screen, it's definitely worth it. I've beaten this game like 3 or 4 times.
Damn.
It's not a very long game. It's
Yeah.
a 6. You can't hear my air quotes, but it is a 6 mission game. So basically, they're like kind of long missions, but
Yeah. Okay.
high quality game.
All right. My number 2. I love me some card game mini games. as I said when I talked about The Witcher, I love Gwent. Gwent's great. Once it becomes its own like free-to-play game, I'll probably give it a try.
I'm pretty sure it's got like a trial period right now.
Yeah, I think it's in open beta as well, but I think I might wait because I'm still playing other stuff. In Fallout New Vegas, I really liked Caravan once I was taught how to fucking play the game. And I think all of it started with this lovely unknown game for the PS1 called Monster Rancher Battle Card Episode 2.
I don't even know what the game is, but quite the title.
Yeah. You check up the save data on your memory card. It says MRBCEP:2. Like, what the fuck is this thing? But no, it's I mean, I never really knew what Monster Rancher was, and then I kind of did, and it's like, imagine if instead of collecting all the Pokemon, you just have one that you really like. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And so, imagine if all of those were trading cards, and then you pick 3 of them, and then you draw attacks, and you're like, okay, this is what this person's gonna do. I target that, and then you face against this one guy that's the biggest asshole in the entire deck because every single time he's like, I'm gonna make you lose by running out of cards. Every single, because it's one of those things where every turn you have to discard a certain amount, and then you use the amount of cards you discard as like energy for your attacks. And so at the very beginning, he's like, I discard 1, I discard 1, I discard 1, and you try to attack him. He's like, I dodge, I discard 1, I dodge, and it's like, oh, okay, we're doing one of these now, and it's like if he doesn't attack, it's like, okay, I hurt you by 1. I'm like, okay, thanks. Or like, I hurt you by 2, but I take away all of your energy. I'm like, okay, cool. So, I don't know, it's a lot of fun, and I always think that at one point maybe I will come back and play this game. And it's actually made its way into the channel a few times, because I've definitely used some of the music to either open or close some of our top 40 lists. I know I used some of it as the finale for Call of the Dead. So, yeah, I have a lot of, really nostalgic memories. I played it as a kid with my sisters. We faced against this one guy that had a fucking whale card. It would just crush us. It's like, I use Tidal Wave. Everyone takes 5 damage. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? And then we beat him, and we're like, oh, we beat him! So, yeah, and it's I don't know, it's a lot of fun. I think the mechanics are pretty solid to where, for the most part, it's like, okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, yeah, I just kind of got unlucky. I didn't play this right. Okay, yeah, that's fair. And, it's got a lot of variety in it as well. With, I don't know, I guess as much variety as you can get out of a card game. You don't actually walk to places. You're just like, okay, now I'm at this place. Now I'm at this place. It's got a really weird story too, because it's like, the only way to get your friend back from this alternative world is to get all the cards and stick them into this little tray. I'm like, this is fucking bonkers, man. So, anyways, I don't know, I really like it. And then I picked up Monster Rancher, like the first one, and tried to play it. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Because it's like, you try and attack, and you're like, whoa, they're getting closer. You hit attack, oh, you missed. And then it's like, okay, not in the battle. All right, what do you want to do? Do you want to train? Okay, train your strength. And it shows like your little guy is like pulling like logs in the back or something. I'm like, this is fucking weird. I don't know. I never really hear people talking about Monster Rancher. And I've definitely never heard of anybody else talk about Monster Rancher Battle Card Episode 2. What is Episode 1?
I guess Monster Rancher.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe one of these days we'll know. Have I ever told you about this? No?
No. So you're saying that the absolute first song in the finale is Monster Rancher Battle Card?
I think so.
Episode 2?
Yeah.
That's an epic little tune there.
There's some epic music in there.
That's pretty cool.
It's a good game. PS1. Do you remember?
Yeah, let me go buy a PS1. The most valuable secondhand system on the planet. I know what it is. I'm gonna look. Oh, how did we get here? This is number 1. Sometimes you feel like you just don't talk about something because that's what happens. Because why would you? you know, you have that game that you play that nobody will ever play. Why would they play it? It's ridiculous. But you play it because you're like, I'm dumb. So this is why I'm going to play this game. Does the game function? No. Does the game work? Barely. But you know what? Sometimes you're good at it. Sometimes you go to PAX, you get second place. Steven, I'm so sorry. My number one is QWOP.
Why?
I have this admiration for this game only because I became good at it, and I just like playing it. You know what? Just every once in a while, I'm like, got my computer open. I gotta burn like 5 minutes. I don't want to like start up a system. Let's go to Flatout.net. Let's see how QWOP's. Let's see if I can run like at least 35 meters on first try. And I freaking can. You know what? Like, origin story. The day I started with QWOP, I was at friends, I was like, have you ever seen this? This is the dumbest shit ever. I was like, let's see. Oh my god. Probably one of the hardest times I ever laughed in my life. Just trying to play QWOP. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. It's like, oh, kick the leg, there I go. Oh, missed the thing, there I go. Every time, you know, it's just the funniest damn thing. Next
Start
time,
moving, it's got the music.
the fucking music is so epic, and you just like, you think it's gonna just get into that song, you know, the boop, 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 boop. It doesn't. It's just a boop, 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 boop. And you know, you start to go slow, and quest down. It doesn't go till you start moving. After that day, for some reason, I just kept playing it. I'm like, there was this moment where I learned how to take that first step. And then from there, I was like, here we go.
Wow, that's poetic.
I know how to hit those buttons. I know how to move that thigh and then that calf, and down it goes. And now I'm running fast, and I'm going, here we go. Oh, wow. Look at him go. And I got to the hurdle. I didn't even know the hurdle was there. And I locked my foot. The only way to get past that hurdle is you gotta kick it, and you gotta step over it. But man, you get your leg over it, and then you just tip straight over. So yeah, we went to PAX East last year, and I saw that there was a QWOP tournament first day. I'm like, fuck it. So like, a couple weeks before the tournament started, I'm like, I'm gonna practice. I'm waiting for somebody to get here. I'm gonna practice. We went there, stage was set. I was nervous as fuck. Competed against like 8 people. Apparently, there's a consistently competing at PAX East people who are like, were you here last year? I was like, no, I've never been to PAX in my life. So apparently there's like a QWOP community out there.
QWOP community. Maybe there's a subreddit, r/QWOP.
Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome.
Know you're watching.
Please watch. I love you guys. I don't love the guy who got 3rd place, who screamed so loud when he felt that he made my...
Oh yeah, he activated the microphone on your computer?
He activated the microphone on my computer so it just minimized my window, and I was on a great first run. So that's why I got 2nd. I would have been there, man. I would have did it in 1 run.
Yeah.
I was so practiced. I was so nervous I wasn't making any mistakes.
What a game.
That
game is free.
A game. This game is free to play. All you need is a solid internet connection.
Yeah.
And you can experience the Flash genius. Wow.
Good. All right. Moving on.
Can you top that? Can you top that?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say what my number 1 is, and you're gonna be in disbelief, and I'm gonna explain it, and there's a good chance you're still gonna be in disbelief. But I think throughout the entire time, you'll be like probably understanding. Yeah, no, this is kind of weird for me because I really, really like this game, and I never really understood how much I like this game until occasionally I see people bring it up. You know, it's like, this is the best game in its genre, and I'm like, shit, really? Because I I think there's another game that's the best in its genre. And they're like, no, because it does this, and it's got this, and the other game doesn't do this, and it's got these weird things to it. I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a hard sell. I like this other game a lot, and I really like this game. My number one game that I really, really want to talk about is Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock.
Oh!
This game is pretty fucking good. There it is. Guitar Hero 6. Did you know it exists? I did. I really like this game because, you know, it's history, the split that Rock Band and Guitar Hero took, how they both had different ideas, and of course Activision really kind of meddled with it by saying, okay, you're going to make all these games, and Rock Band was like, okay, well, we're going to make a couple, and we really know what we want to make. Okay, we want to make it fun, and we want to make it accessible for everybody. And we want to, you know, with each iteration, we want to do a little bit more. We want to show that like everybody can make music, right? And then Guitar Hero's like, you know, some people are really good at this game. Let's make a game for those people. I'm like, that's me. guys, that's me. They made a game for me. And so the last tier of songs is like, well, you want a Dragon Force song? You want like 5 Megadeth songs? Okay, here you go. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I'll play them. I'll have fun. My wrist will hurt if I like. You know, I haven't played. I play a lot of Rock Band still, mostly on drums. And so every once in a while, I was like, one time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hook up the Xbox because I really want to play Warriors of Rock. And I did. I played one song, like, how? My wrist hurts. But it's just, it's really good. And I agree that they did a lot of things that, you know, Rock Band didn't do. I think they added more depth to quick play because with each song, you can get, of course, the 5 stars or even the 6 star if you get 100% without missing anything. But then there's a challenge for every song where it's like, okay, this song, and they're all really basic. It's like, get this many chords in this song, get this many hammer-ons in this song. There's one that's like, I think the most difficult one was rock out this much to this song. And I honestly think I looked it up online. It says, when you use star power, wiggle your guitar around a lot. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so there's like a lot of like, okay, well, I'll definitely like, I mean, obviously you always try to hit all the notes. And it's like, okay, now get this many notes with star power. Or like, have star power for this song. It's all that kind of simple stuff. But then also, they gave it a campaign, which is kind of neat. You know, a lot of people could probably say, well, that's really kind of dumb. Like, why would you give a story to a rhythm game? How do you give a story that's not, well, we started small and now we're touring the world. And this game is like, okay, these people are really good at what they play, and so they're trying to ascend rock immortality. And so every set for each character, they're all tied to a specific thing. Like this person is like, they'll have like this little perk ability. Or it's like, this person, their multiplier goes up to 6 times. And this person, if you miss one note, it doesn't count it. And then there's like a recharger, for it's like a shield. This person, every 10 notes, they get like 10% of star power. And it's that sort of thing. And it's like, with each person, it's a little bit different. And so you do all the things for them. And then at the very end, you're like, that's it. You've transcended the final fucking stage. And I actually think there's a lot of creativity in the venues, because one of the venues is just like this really gothic master bedroom, and there's just nobody in there except for you and your band. And the last venue is you're on top of a giant robot. Whatever, you're just there. And it's like stomping around, you're like, okay, this is cool. And then at the very end, they're like, okay, so all these last songs are kind of tough, so you can have everybody's power also doubled. And so you're like,
whoa,
fucking yes. How many stars can I get in this? Oh, 40 stars? I did really well, so I got 40 stars. And so it's like, you finish the song, it's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it keeps going all the way up to 40. And it's like, yeah. And like, you get star power really quickly, because I think if you get one phrase, it fills it up like all the way. And so you hit it, and then every 10 notes you hit, that's 20% of your star power back. You get it all the way until you hit another star power run, fills it up all the way. You spend 80% of the song in star power. And it's like, oh, I missed a note. Oh, I didn't, because I got these little things that are preventing me from, you know, missing a note. And so you have like a streak that goes fucking forever. And it's a lot of fun because it's really difficult to do different things with rhythm games, especially with how ingrained they are with Guitar Hero. You know, you get to the 6th one, you're like, what are you gonna do that's different? People don't want something that's different. Example, Guitar Hero Live. People don't want something that's different. And so we're like, okay, let's just make it cool. Let's just make it fun. Let's just, you know, make one that panders to the people that are really good. And, you know, there are also always a lot of other things that I liked about it a little bit more. It's like, okay, you want to play with 4 guitarists? Fucking go for it. You want to play with 4 drums? Go for it. Rock Band is like weirdly, really stubborn with that sort of thing. Where it's like, no, you're going to play the 4 instruments we have, and that's it. I'm like, okay, I guess. And of course, it has, you know, weird, you know, custom-made songs. That some are really good, some are really, really not good. And then, obviously, I put way, way more time and money into Rock Band, and so it's difficult for me to say that it'll ever be a better game than Rock Band has gotten to at this point, especially Rock Band 3, with how much, you know, I like about it. But with, I don't know, there's a chance that Warriors of Rock might be my favorite rhythm game. Is it going to upset Rock Band 3? There's very little chance, just because of how much I have invested into it. But mechanically, there's a chance that it blows Rock Band 3 out of the water. For me. Which is a lot to say, isn't it?
Yeah. How often do you play drums in Warriors?
Never. Not once. I want to. I don't have a drum set for it. But, yeah, I've only ever played guitar. Maybe played bass on a song or two. You know, I exported in like some of the other discs, and it's like, well, the export isn't like all the songs, so you can only get some of the songs. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll pay like $10, $15 to get half of Guitar Hero 3, whatever. Or like Guitar Hero Smash Hits, I guess I'll get those in there.
Oh.
And I don't know, it's really good, and I think it sucks that it died the way that it did. And you know, I think people didn't. It's really easy for people not to appreciate Warriors of Rock because people stopped caring after Guitar Hero 5.
Guitar Hero 5 was nonsense.
Yeah, no, people aren't that fond of that one. And then they're like, you know what? Okay, we'll really try for this one. And then they did, and then it was really good. And then they're like, oh, nobody cares about rhythm games. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we'll make Call of Duty now. It's tragic. It's tragic, and I feel bad just because I think it's really good, and it's a sad story. But yeah, no, Warriors of Rock. I really, really, really like it. There's nothing else like it.
So, Warriors of Rock or Guitar Hero 2?
Warriors of Rock.
Aww.
Guitar Hero 2 holds a lot of nostalgia value, and it's got Jordan.
Yeah, it does. 50th best.
Yeah, and it's even tough for me to say it, but at this point, yeah. Like I really want to play a really washed out version of Carry Me Home, or Institutionalized.
I was in my room.
And my mom and my dad came in.
All I wanted was a Pepsi. Yeah, I think you win. Good job.
Yeah, no. I'll let you decide next year, if you have like an idea for a top 10 that you want to do. But yeah, I'm really glad that I got to do this because I really like all of these games, and there are a few that I didn't get to talk about.
Hey, that was blessed too. I had fun.
Yeah, no.
Struggling to talk about Destroy All Humans, but I mean, it's fun. That's good. It's good to do different things. Different things are fun.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also good because it's like, not all of these games are 10 out of 10 games, but for somebody it might be.
That's true. And they all hold a special place in our heart for one, maybe even just one aspect.
Yeah,
it's just great.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Yep, we'll see you at Top 10 time end of the year.
Yeah. 2017.